Hi there, welcome to my weekly messages. I'm Jelaila Star. Today the topic is why reunite with family, the higher perspective. You know, I come up with these titles and I can't always remember what they are. Anyway, this one is in response to last week's message, letting go, frees money to flow. And I'm doing it because I got so many people responding to that last week's message, telling me their stories about how or why they are not, reuniting with their family, and kind of justifying a lot of it. Some of them were great. They were like, got it. I did go back and I reunited and I cleared some stuff and I feel like I'm now ready to move on. And, some were not. But anyway. The thing is that there was so much response, I realized, and that there's so much confusion around this topic as to whether we should, whether we shouldn't, if we do, how far do we have to go, when do we know it's time to move on. All these different things come up, and I realized, well, you know what, maybe it's time to do a message to kind of clarify all that. So that's today's topic. So let's begin. The big thing that people ask is, why do I need to reunite with my family at this point in time? Well, there's a couple of reasons. Number one, we're 6 months away from our planet crossing the galactic equator. And I know, I've talked about this before, but bear with me, all those of you who've been a part of the weekly messages for a while, because the newcomers may not know. Our planet, at the end of 2012, is going to go through an astronomical event that it does every 13,000 years during the precession of the equinoxes. At that point, we cross the equatorial plane of our galaxy, the Milky Way galaxy. At the core of the galaxy is a black hole. But what they have now discovered is that matter is emitted from a black hole as well as taken in by a black hole. And what they have found, that coming out of the black hole is what they call a galactic superwave of energy. It's like a line or wave of energy that's spreading out across the equatorial plane. And every time the galaxy is going this way, okay? And we are coming this way, like they're going this way and we're having to cycle around it this way. Well, every 13,000 years, we go up. And then, next time we go down. Well, right now we're in the cycle where we're going up. And when we do that, we move through that field of energy that's spreading out across the equatorial plane. And that energy is very high frequency energy, that it's vibrating 1,000 times faster than we are. We're right now at about 9.2 hertz per second, which is like the heartbeat of the planet. Well, imagine going through a field of energy that's at, 70,000 hertz a minute. What happens is that when things speed up, your thoughts manifest faster. So imagine going from thoughts manifesting, well, you think, okay, I want this blue sweater. And then 2-3 days later, you find it. Imagine it happening within minutes. You find it, minutes. And then, or maybe seconds. See, that's a lot faster. So imagine everything we think, we're manifesting very quickly. You're either going to, if you're thinking really great thoughts and you're really in balance and you're really emoting a lot of love and joy, you're going to create heaven on earth. I mean, your life's going to be fantastic. But if you're carrying a lot of fears and a lot of resentment, a lot of bitterness, a lot of powerlessness, oh, imagine that. You're going to manifest hell on earth. So it's going to either get really good or it's going to get really bad in 6 months. And what we're going to find is that once we cross to it, it's not all going to happen at once. I mean, because not everybody's vibrating at the same place. There's going to be no one really knows how that's going to look when it happens. But what we do know, based on physics, is that things are going to happen a lot faster. And when you have millions of people emoting they're good and they're bad. You're going to have a mixed bag of stuff that comes out. What we want to do is ensure as much as we can now that what we create on the other side is more heaven than not. So we have now less than 6 months to get that done, to clear out as much powerlessness as we can. And powerless comes in many forms: bitterness, resentment, anger, shame, guilt. All these things are feelings that we have when we don't feel in power of something or in control of something. And the only way to be in control is to be responsible for it, to know that we created that, whatever that is. So this is a reason, one of the reasons why now is the time to reunite with family. The other reason is, as souls, we make our primary contracts to work through the priority issues that we want to work through in this lifetime with the people who are going to be with us for the longest period of time during our developmental years. So that ends up being whoever our primary caregivers are and whoever are usually our siblings. Now, I'm talking generally. I know there's people out there who were raised in an adopted family or in foster homes, or, they go from family to family. But you look at the people who were there the longest in your formative years, and those people have the primary contracts with you. So as we get older and we move away from our family and we get on this path, we kind of tend to leave them behind because they don't think like we do. They're just not on the same page. They don't understand us, and all these other good things that we say about them. And they're like so dysfunctional. Okay. And all that may be true. But the biggest test, as I've said, about ascension is whether you can take what you've learned by going out there on the path and bring it back and apply it here. And your greatest test, and where you're going to really know the truth about how much you have changed, is whether you can do that with those primary contract holders. Yeah, your parents, your siblings, yeah, even extended family who's around a lot. If you can take your new consciousness and apply it there to create a copacetic environment, you've really got it. So not only do they give you the best and most honest mirror and reflection of where you truly are right now, so you can't delude yourself, but you also learn where you need to still work, and you can heal a lot of things and have a much richer life as a result. Because even though we may be angry with our families, underneath that anger is a longing. We wanted it to be different. That's why we're angry. So by going back, you have a chance now with this new level of consciousness to get what you want. That's pretty cool. And I tell you what, when your family's getting along or you're getting along with your family, you feel different inside. You feel more grounded. You feel like you're more whole and complete because there's not these big holes inside your heart that are there because things aren't working. So those are the two reasons why you need to do it and why you need to do it now. So that takes us to the next thing. So say you go and you do it. How do you know when you've cleared an issue? That's the big thing. And this is where people always get tripped up. They think, well, I realized that I was my issue with my brother was because I was there to show him a better way. No, not really. Here's the guideline. Okay, so keep this one in mind. You'll know you clear an issue when you can look at the events that caused you to be upset with your family member, say it's a brother, and find the gift in it. And the gift is always the mirror. What is it that he's doing that I'm doing to myself that I didn't recognize? And when you own that, when you can see how you have mistreated yourself, maybe he throws you under the bus, so to speak, over and over again. He constantly betrays you. Well, then somewhere you are betraying yourself. You're doing it to your inner child. You're betraying your inner child. So when you can see that and own that, then you no longer are angry with him. And you go, you know what? That was hard and that hurt. But you know what? Thanks for showing me, because I may not have gotten it otherwise. And you can release them from blame. And then you can have a peaceful relationship with them, and you're not triggered by them anymore. You get it. You know, they came along, they had a tough contract, they agreed to play it for you, and they did, and they played it forever how many years, and you finally get it. Thank you very much. We're moving on. So when there's no charge, you can be around them without any irritation, and you're comfortable, then you know that issue is over. Okay, so the last question. How do I know when, after I've cleared issues with family members, and some of them I'm just not on the same page with, how do I know when it's okay to move on and not try to maintain that relationship anymore? So in that case, I'm walking away because there's just no connection, there's no desire, there's just nothing to hook into really. The way you know is that there is no animosity. There is no charge. It is peaceful. And you can try to dupe yourself into believing that, but there's a fine line between walking away and running away. Running away is when there's still some charge, you still have some issues with them, and I just don't want to be around them. We're just not on the same page. Walking away is when you are grateful to them, you're appreciative of them, you can hug them when you see them, you can do small talk, you know, all that stuff. But you just know their life is going in a different direction than yours. And that's okay. That's their right, and you're cool with that. And you'll see them at family gatherings, and you'll give them a hug, but you just know you just don't have anything in common anymore. That's when you can let it go. So, those are the 3 things. I hope that will help you in this big thing now, which I think from what I got as responses, there's a lot of people who are going through this right now where they're being presented with opportunities to go back and deal with their family. And you know what? I'm here. I'm here if you need help. We can do sessions. We can do workshops. In fact, I've agreed to open up my schedule, get more committed to this because I was kind of like, I'm kind of playing at this a little bit, and get more dedicated to doing this work, especially during this last big 6 months. I mean, this is our last big push. So I'll be doing workshops. I've got an emotional clearing DNA recoding workshop set for Labor Day weekend, last August 31st through September 2nd, I think. We can do private retreats. I've opened up more dates on my calendar so that I'm more flexible to your schedules. We can do personal sessions. If you don't have the DNA recoding information, if you don't have the emotional clearing information, it's available. Go to my website and you'll find it. But guys, it's time to get real. This is where the rubber meets the road. You're either going to get it done or you're not. And your family is going to be your greatest opportunity to clear very deep stuff. It's better to clear the deep stuff than just a little bit here and there. Because once we cross that galactic equator, you're going to manifest whatever's still around. So, that's it. Hopefully I'll see you at the workshop in September. If not before, if you want to do a retreat, you want to call me for a session. I am here. Okay. Take care. See you later.
There's been so many things that's held us down, but now it looks like things are finally coming around.